Cool.
Let me just run here.
The tension of the Facebook Live.
We're live. As always, I have to make sure that I'm live because the worst thing in the world is me not being live. I'm like a prig. Cool, we're live. Okay, we are live. We are live with my very, very good friend, the Essex Bomber. What's going on with you? I just made that up, just to let you know.
I'm great.
Yeah, if you're live, let us know that you're live. If you're watching this on replay, let us know that it's on a replay. But a privilege to have you here with us, buddy. Someone that I've looked at for the last number of months and really wanted to give a kick up the hole to get going and get pushed and start making some money for him and his family. But lo and behold, we're in that position, and I don't think we're slowing down at any speed. So a big welcome to my buddy Henry. How are you, pal?
I'm great. Yeah, honored to be here.
You're great.
Yeah.
Why are you great? Tell me why you're great.
Things are going well, you know. Been closing for a month now, and you know, full calendar opportunity to improving my skill set and closing deals. So,
Wow.
Just give us a bit of a summary of when you started, where you are now, and I suppose like what you've achieved. We'll go from there.
Yeah. So, my overall story, I started sales in April. I'm great. Yeah. Oh, was that me? Am I good? Yeah. So started sales. I mean, for the last April 2021, I'm mainly selling. I did start off with a little bit of closing, then I transitioned to selling for the last 8 months.
Yeah.
And then there was just really a cap on my income with the setting and grinding my dick off, literally day in, day out, outbound dining, which is good. It was good for my development. It served me at the time. Yeah. And then Bill, slapped me about, told me some hard truths, got me to get uncomfortable and then get into closing and join the objection box, and the rest was history.
Yeah. So tell us about the first month. Tell us about what you're doing now. Tell us about what you're kind of coming up against in terms of challenges and how you're able to overcome them, because that's really important, because I want people to understand that everyone wants to just get into closing and closing and closing. Yeah. But there's no point getting into closing if you don't know what you're doing, because you will literally get clapped about and ultimately you fall out the other side of it, and then you don't ever want to go back.
The literally exact way you overcome my concerns, because I was selling at the time. And you said to me, if you're going to get into a boxing match, you need to go and train and learn how to, punch and dodge the punches. And that analogy really hit home, because I knew I wanted to step up into closing. And that's what I've done. I've learned how to, handle the end of the call and get there in a way that's more efficient and a lot more profitable as well. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk numbers, because everybody wants to know, what's Ray doing there? What's Henry doing there? Everyone wants to talk about numbers. So let's go. First 3 weeks we did this. Where are we now in August?
First 3 weeks. So started July the 11th, and then the first 3 weeks getting ramped on the offer. I'd done $5,400. So that was pretty much what I was earning, between 4,000 to 6,000. I think my top one was maybe 6,500, maybe 7,000 in setting. And that was with a decent base as well, so not commission. So made my money there, even with having a week off in finding a new offer. And then this month is kicked off. I've done 18 sales so far. I've got 10 down payments. So this is another thing that's really improved. Actually getting a down payment, didn't know how to get that before. But I'm at 10,000 with a few revenue bonuses. $10,780, I think is the exact in commission so far this month.
Yeah, I remember when I sat and spoke to you first, because I know we've been connected for months and months and months. When I sat and told you about the objection box, you were just ready to go on holidays, and you were giving me that whole time concern garbage, and I was like, okay, well, this is going to be fun. Watch this, Henry. Anyway, I said to you straight up, I said, look, buddy, you come work with me, you're not setting anymore. And you're like, what? I was like, you're not setting anymore. And he was like, what do you mean? I'm a setter. And it's like, no, you're not. I'm going to give you the education, which ultimately means that I'm going to get you into the best position to go out and find a great closing position so you can go make the money for you and your family in your future.
Mm-hmm.
And as you progress, as you develop, as you push on, and as you go into the next couple of months and the next 6 or so months, I'll get you more opportunities. But it all had to start with what? It all had to start with you somewhat agreeing to the narrative that I wanted to present to you, which ultimately was you taking care of your family in the best capacity that you wanted.
Yeah.
And people always come to me and they're always like, you're just all about the sales. You're just all about the sales. You're just all about the numbers. But more often than not, I'm not. You know, I'm more often than not, I'm more about what it actually does for you. Because I could see how unhappy you were and how the lack of, you know, Adam, I'm going to mute you again, buddy. The lack of, I suppose, career path was struggling. And I could see it in you that you were just like a Ferrari in the garage ready to go. You know, and that was the big thing for me. I was like, okay, now I've got to give you the next education, the next lot, but now I've got to get you into the best opportunities. You know what I mean? And how do you do that? And that's something that, you know, I've really been proud to see you do over the last couple of months. And as we continue to develop and as you continue to grow, I don't think your income is going to go anywhere other than up. You know, and that's a testament to you and what you're willing to do on a daily basis. And that's what it's all about. It's about the consistency every single day to get to where you want to go. You know, let me ask you this: why did you join? Why did you join the objection box?
Why did I join?
Yeah,
because I knew I had the setting process down, but that's only really like finding the current situation, finding a problem, and then, you know, getting them to show up to the call. And I knew the gap was if I wanted to transition into closing. But I think you summed it up perfectly. There's three things you need. It's the future pace, like, you know, really, like, not just the North Star, but getting what's behind that, the cost of inaction, and getting the yes, which is the ability to overcome objections. And for the last month or so before I was, you know, before I joined Objection Box, I was working on that on the side because I knew I wanted to make that transition. And then I saw that you had the Objection Box, and it was just like, you know, that the hand just went into the glove. I was just like, I just need to join. Like, this is exactly what I need. So that's why. Just getting the yes, pretty much.
What have you learned? What have you learned, which is very, very important? Because everyone says to me, what do you do in the Objection Box? Well, what do you do? Yes, the name is on the fucking on the head. It's pretty straightforward. Like, we're giving you everything you need to get to yes. But I always ask everyone, like, what do you learn specifically that helps you move the needle as much as you've moved it?
I would say there's a lot of things I've learned over the last month. I think the first thing I learned was just how to, like, pierce the BS smokescreen objections. Like, think about it, partner, and just literally just pierce them and just get to money logistics or money fear. And then the ability to also the ability to overcome that. That was the first thing I learned. The second thing I learned was, like, just trimming the fat throughout the whole, like, discovery, and just get into the meat and potatoes, which is feud, pace, and consequence, and just getting there as quickly and as efficient as possible. A few tweaks there as well. And then the third thing, which I'll say is a big game changer for my income, is I've had 10 down payments this month, and I've had down payments from last month. And then my pipeline now, unless it's like a, you know, someone who I know just needs a little bit more nurturing, like the leads, you know, they weren't as warm. My pipeline now is just people with down payments. I mean, I've got one guy that's at a $1 down payment, but still it's a commitment, but most of them are, you know, $100 to $500 down payments. So that's what you taught me. Just have your pipeline with people who are willing to make that commitment.
Once those cash, let's do the math on it. Let's say you got 5 of those. Let's say you're bringing in 7 of those a month. Okay, and it might take a month for them to close.
Yeah.
Next month, instead of having 20 off-ride sales, you have 27. The next month after that, you could have 22 off-run sales, and then you have another 7. Now you've done 29.
Yeah.
That is how you build and scale your income with down payments. And people don't understand that. People want to be like, we've got to follow up. Yeah, follow up all you like, buddy. But I can guarantee you'll only get 1 out of the 10 people you're following up. You get commitment from somebody, even if it's $1. I don't care. I don't worry about the dollar amount. I worry about the level of commitment that person wants to give me. to show me that they're willing and wanting to change their outcome.
Yeah.
That's the difference. Those are commitments. Those are down payments. Those are people that you want in your pipeline. Anything other than that, it's a pipe dream.
Do you put them in your calendar, Henry, those people?
Like that, I only put them in my calendar if it's so. This is another thing about this new offer. Like my hours, I'm earning more money and my hours are better. So I'm 12 till 9 UK. So like if I have a follow-up, if they're UK, I'll get it in before 12, or I book it after 9 if they're US. They're not going in my 12 to 9 hours. That is just for new applicants. Another thing like that as well.
Something else nobody knows. Something else everybody wants to just block out their entire calendar with follow-ups. You're like, what a fucking stupid idea that is, buddy.
Yeah.
There's something I want you all doing. That's how you're making the money. Like, that's why you're making the money that you're making. That here's the other side of it, right? You're making more money than most people can in 10 years, in 6 weeks. Why? Because I'm giving you the exact framework that I did. You never got on a follow-up with me during my day. Never, ever, 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 ever. You got a message and that was it. If you're ready to pay, then we spoke. You know what I mean? Like, because that's what it takes. Like, I don't want to give you an hour of someone else's time. I don't want to allow you to take 2 hours out of my time when it should have only took 1. That's the key, you know, and that's the idea. You got to protect your time like it's the most valuable thing in the world, because my time allows me to pay my kids. It allows me to pay for my life. It allows me to go to Lisbon for fucking 6 weeks and not worry about a single dollar. You know what I mean? That's what it does. That's what your calendar is for. That's what your time is. It's the most valuable thing that you bring to the table.
Yeah.
For any business owner, for anything. What have you saw, I suppose, Adam, from Henry over the last couple of weeks? Because I know you do an awful lot of role plays and stuff. So what have you seen?
Yeah, night and day, and come on leaps and bounds. I think, to be honest, Henry, I love him. I love him having in the group. I think he's a great addition to the group in general. I think you are somebody who brings a really nice energy to the whole group, which is something that we're really, really big on, very, very protective of. And I know that a lot of people say that in a marketing sort of slogany fucking way. Yeah, well, you nearly kicked me out, Bill. So I know a lot of people say that in a marketing kind of slogany kind of way, that, you know, oh, we're very selective of who we work with, but, you know, it is a good bunch we have in there. I think Henry's one of the good ones. But it's just there was so much redundant shite we had to get out of the role plays. Remember, Henry? Like, it was just so many redundant questions. Or like, scrap that, don't need that, get rid of that, just ask that, and now here we are. I mean, how long did your calls take?
I think the quickest one I got wrapped up in, like at the moment, like 40 to 45 minutes, and that's including the payment as well. You're
saying that like that's a long call.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, like,
about it.
half an hour would be perfect. But that's you know, I guess that depends how warm the lead is. But another thing was just like having a conversation. Like now I feel like I've got like I just have all the ammunition, so now I can just be present with the prospect and just like ask what needs to be said, and like not just following like to the T what the script is. Just say it how, like Bill like just taught me, just say it how you say it normally.
Yes.
You're still going to get the same outcome. And then I started doing that, and I'm still getting the same answers, if not better. As long as you don't set like
that's that whole tonality bollocks. Like, cause like you're British, you know, I'm Irish. We have our own distinctive way of speaking. The Americans as well have their own distinctive way. If we're all trying to sound like each other, then we're all fucked. Like, we're literally all fucked. You know what I mean? Because we all have different mannerisms. We all have different way of behaving. We all have different hooks, analogies, and frameworks that we use. That's why I coach and develop you all to be your own unique person. No one ever will speak like me ever again. No one will ever sell like me ever again, because you can't. And it's the same thing with you, Henry. I can't sell like you in the same way I can't sell like Adam. Doesn't mean I'm better. Doesn't mean I'm worse. It's just that we all have our own unique way of doing things. So trying to coach somebody and teach somebody to speak a different way is absolutely ludicrous. It's absolutely crazy.
It makes people go backwards. It'll make people go backwards because you feel
no logical sense.
Awkward, and everything's just a weird, awkward fest. Just
does not work at all. Yeah. What's the plan moving forward? Let's talk big goals. Let's talk big goals, because I do big shit around the place. So let's go for it. What do you want to do? What do you want to see?
Yeah, just 20k months is you know, I'm on pace to do that now. So I would like to see that being the new norm. And just just for the rest.
4 months ago, I couldn't get you out of your own way. 4 months ago, you were fucking sitting in that little bunk bed house that you had. Remember that little room that you had, and it's like, where is he? Is this an officer? What the hell is going on? So I question myself. It's like madness. But how crazy to think like we want the new norm to be 20K after 6 weeks of full-time sales. Just let that sit in. Like if you're on live, if you're literally on live right now, like Henry has just said, after 6 weeks of full-time sales with what we're doing, his norm wants to be 20K months. Like that's madness.
And he's on track. He's not. That's not a pipe dream. Like
he's after making how much have you made this?
You're literally on track.
10,700. So I've proved to myself now that it can be done. So I want to hold myself accountable to that.
Well, you've 12 days in and you nearly cracked 11K. That's $1,000 a day.
Yeah.
If you stay on the track that you're in, you'll break 30.
Yeah.
So show me one other place where you can do that. I don't care, and I'm not being big-headed here, but show me one other place, one other coaching example that you can literally walk in after 6 weeks of being full-time and say, I'm going to make $1,000 a day for the rest of my life. Expand this. You know what I mean? So a big kudos to you, buddy. Like it's a testament to what you're doing. It's a testament to the education. One thing I will always say to you, and one thing I will always say to everyone, don't get complacent. I've seen too many people make a little bit of money and they'd be like, oh, this is it. You know what I mean? So don't ever get yourself in a position.
I don't think that can possibly happen inside the ejection box.
Oh,
yeah,
it wouldn't.
It's good advice.
Well, are you coming to Miami? That's the other question.
Yeah, I've mentioned it to the girlfriend. So
all right, shit. Bring her with you.
Yeah, no, I think
don't overcome his objection. Go on.
Yeah, let's
see the end of the month out, but
that's not a problem, Henry.
Yeah, that's not a problem. let's do this. You hit 20. You hit. No, I'm going to be polite. You hit above 15K for this month. You book a ticket to Miami.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay. You don't have to, mate.
You don't have to come. You don't have to come and learn with me. You don't have to come and sit with me for 2 days.
Okay.
I'm only joking. It's a privilege to have you, buddy. It's a privilege to see you grow. It's a privilege to know why you're doing it and to let everybody know, as I am. I'm a very big family man. Henry is obviously a young dad himself, which is massive, and he's taking care of his partner and his little bambino, and that's what it's all about. It's not a case of making money for the sake of making money just to watch the zeros and the ones in the bank account. Like he is literally doing what I asked him to do and doing what we agreed on and what he wants to do and what I asked him in terms of what I challenged him enough to do. And now he's in a position where over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 months, money doesn't come into it anymore. And you'll see that, and it's a complete switch in everything that you do. You're like, okay, well, let's just do it. Do you know what I mean? And it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be in that position, but you work the bollocks off to do that, and you've invested heavily in yourself to be in that position where you are taking full advantage of your life moving forward. And that's the key. Let me ask you this. It's a privilege. Where would you be on the other side? Like if I didn't challenge you enough to come in, if I didn't challenge you enough to step up, and to really put yourself in the shop window and to really kind of, take on the Goliath of high ticket sales, because everyone wants to do it. Like that's a fact. Everybody wants to make the money that Henry has made after 6 weeks, but not everybody can. Where would you be, or what would you be doing?
Well, I'll still be working the same amount of hours, but I'll be out. Well, like actually, let's say like 8 hours, 9 hours a day, like solidly, and that doesn't include like studying and stuff like that and training, in terms of actual calls. But last time I was just dialing the phone and struggling to book 5 appointments a day, and struggling to earn $5,000 a month, and I was working from UK time, like at least like 2 to 3 UK, all the way to about 11 till 12 midnight, just because of the hours. And now I'm able to, I made 5 on the first month of August. I've done 5 sales in one day because of the, two follow-ups and 3 one-call closes. And I was struggling to get 5 appointments last time. So now that's with better hours and earning more money. And that's all inbound appointments. So it's night and day.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. And once you back yourself and you invest in yourself and you push yourself in the shop window and you humble yourself enough to know that there's a tremendous amount more to learn. And I'm the exact same. Like there's a couple of people that I look at to really develop and help me and kind of skill and all that kind of stuff. And You know, if you ever lose that side of yourself, you're always in trouble.
Yeah.
Because if you're the smartest person in the room, in my opinion, you're going to get clapped about. Because eventually the dumbest people in the room will bring you down. You know what I mean? Do you ever look at someone like who plays soccer at a very, very high level? Next minute they go to a shit team, and next minute they just get shitter.
Yeah.
That's what happens. Like if you're not challenging yourself daily, if you're not getting into bigger rooms, bigger personalities, bigger people that are doing bigger stuff than you, then you just dumb yourself into the crowd and you actually just blend in. You know what I mean? And I don't ever want you to blend in, because you weren't born to blend in. You know what I mean? You weren't born to fucking stand on the sidelines. You're born to get in, mix it up, go make yourself the money that you want to make. And that's the key.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Adam, any questions on Facebook? Anything going on that side of the world?
No,
if you're on Facebook, we're looking at this, ask some questions, because we're going to wrap up in 5 or 10 minutes. So let us know. Do you want to ask Henry anything? How he started, where he is today? He started as an SDR, then into DM, then into triage, then into obviously where we are now. Over the last 6 weeks, has gone from fucking making 0 to his first 10, 11K in 6 weeks. The first 3 weeks were nearly 6 grand. Now we're 12 days into August, which is a brand new month. He's just broke 11 grand. So like, ask the fucking man the question. If you're in those similar positions, ask him what is he doing, what happened, what it works, what's not working, and so on and so forth. Ask the man while he's here.
The only question we had from our buddy Daniel Filler was, what's going on in Miami?
Oh shit, what's going on in Miami? So Miami, I am 30 in November.
30,
And
you said 30, just for the Americans out there.
yeah, 30.
That word he just
30. Yeah, 30. I am 30 in November, and I said to myself, what better thing to do than go rent out a villa in Miami, go over, meet a load of people, train a load of people, have loads of steak, have loads of whiskey, and enjoy the week. So that's what we're doing in Miami. We're all my guys inside the objection box. We're bringing 20 people down. I think we have about 14, 15 people already signed up, if I'm not mistaken, Adam.
Yep, 14, 15, something around that.
Something like that. Yeah. So that'll be great. So we're going down. We're doing a 2-day full intensive of showing everyone what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it. I've always, anytime I went to a live event, I've always come away with at least 25 to 30% more in terms of education and knowledge, because you can literally sit with someone and be like, buddy, this is not how you do it. This is where you're doing it. This is why you're doing it. It's a very personal thing, as you can imagine. It's kind of like this, hands up here, or the two of you, where would you get better results? Being trained by an online coach or being trained by a personal coach?
Person, every time.
You know what I mean? So there's only so much knowledge, there's only so much education you can give to somebody in this fucking portal access and like framework. Once you get people in front of you, you can literally break things down to the minutest detail, because you're not just with them for 20 minutes, you're with them for like 6, 7, 8 hours. You know what I mean? That's where you can literally take someone from where they are to like double easy, you know, so that's going to be massive.
Yeah. Got one question here from Laurie V.
Okay.
And one from our buddy Martin Malloy. Martin, oh, that fucking beeping. Laurie asked, what was the most difficult aspect you overcame to increase your success rate? So I suppose you get to interpret what success rate. What was the most difficult aspect you overcame to increase?
Well, I guess from going from setting to closing.
Mm-hmm.
Difficult aspects. I think there was probably 2, like hanging around in cost of inaction enough, and just have that in intuition to like know when you've got it, when you've got that commitment to change, and that's something I'm still working on. And then the other is just like getting the yes, like the analogies, and like getting like understanding the prospect and what they need to hear and how they need to change their thinking in order to make that sale. Because everyone's different. Yeah. You can't just follow like I'm there's still like basic frameworks that I'm following, like you know, that I'm still working on that.
Yeah. Funny, both of those things that you just mentioned there, neither of those can be solved with a script.
Yeah.
First was cost of inaction, knowing and understanding when you've got it.
Yeah.
Getting to the yes. Nobody can script what happens after you ask for the sale. Nobody can script that for you.
Yeah.
And that's funny that you say both of those. It's what that is basically an understanding of what you're doing, where you're going, how you're doing it, what's going on with them, That has nothing to do with the screens on the words on a screen that you can put up and follow.
Yeah,
it's really interesting to hear.
and you need the training. You need to hear it. And I scripted all out, but you can't, like, I've even tried before. You just can't have that script. And you just can't read off that script when you're overcoming. You get in a commitment. It's just about being with the prospects and just getting real with them. But you need that basic framework first.
The reason why you can't, think about it like this, right? You're driving down the road, right? And next minute you skid, and next minute the car flips, and you're like driving all the way into a wall. Like, you won't literally get out the manual and say, shit, how do I lock the car the other way so I can't?
Yeah.
It won't work. Do you know what I mean? Like, by the time you learn it from the manual or the process or the script is in front of you, you've already hit the fucking wall, dick face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you're screwed. So that's why you have to learn, you have to understand, and you have to understand the frameworks of what it takes to get to a top earner like you are. You know what I mean? But that can't just be read.
Yeah.
You can't just read it and then use it. It doesn't work like that. You have to internally understand it yourself, and you have to understand where the hell you want to go 2-3 steps ahead of everyone else.
Yeah.
And that's what I did very, very quickly.
That's another thing, actually. Just like I'm hearing the conversation, and I know in like 5 minutes time I want to be here, and I'm 3 steps ahead. I'm not like a complete wizard yet, but that I'm starting to experience that on my calls.
How for 6 weeks, mate? It'd be fucking weird if you were a wizard. Jeez. And Martin, so I know Martin's looking to make that transition as well. What made the difference to get from setter to closer? What was the one thing that made the biggest difference?
One thing that made it, I think it just goes back to the 3 things that make us out: the future pace, the cost of inaction, and the ability to overcome the objections and just pierce the smoke screen and just get to the actual real objection.
That's getting you more sales now as a closer.
Yeah.
That transition from getting from a setter to a closer. What was the biggest difference for you to make that transition? Because that's what a lot of people are watching are looking to do. I know that for a fact.
The biggest difference, I mean, being a setter, you're selling the call. So you're only just really finding out the situation if you've got a problem. So looking at closer, you've really got to like get the why now and get what's behind that, like a few layers deep, and really get the heart of that like emotion. If you like, if it's the right offer, which my offer is. So I guess it's that, just going a few layers deep. Whereas with selling, I mean, you can just do that in a 5-10 minute conversation. Does that make sense?
Perfect. Selling is the first half of the conversation, closing is the last half, and that was that was the skill set that you needed to be able to then jump in.
The first part of the conversation, like getting that down and then transferring that like to the rest of the conversation, and then also the pitch as well. But that's just kind of tying everything together.
That's the easy part, though. Were you apprehensive going into the offer, going into your first calls? Were you apprehensive at all?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was like, dang, I'm on 100% commission now. I need to make this work. Otherwise, but my first goal was just like, I just need to get what I was getting before in terms of my base. And if I can surpass that with the commission I was earning, I'm good. And I managed to do that. So
now here we are.
Yeah. And without you walking into fear, you'd never ever fucking move anywhere.
Yeah, growth happens outside of your comfort zone, right? So
it's the same problem all and all. Everybody wants it. There's a difference between wanting it and wanting to want it.
Yeah. And I think with your encouragement and you just, just getting real with me and having your guys' support, obviously that made it a lot easier. Right.
Well, I think we're it's a privilege to have you, buddy. It's a privilege to have you with us. It's a privilege to coach you, develop you, train you, get you into this position where you can take care of your family like you want to. And that means more to me than any amount of money in this world, buddy. You know what I mean? You can give me another 50K if you want. But I know deep down you having the certainty in yourself to know that now I have a skill that ultimately allows me to pay my family. And that's the big thing for me. Just to let you know, our program's not 50K, guys. That's me joking. But look, I know you're busy. Adam is obviously busy. He wants to go and have some evening meals with himself. I gotta go see my kids, but no, look, I am the owner of this mad bunch, this mad group, this mad whole concept that, in my opinion, is taken over. Great, good for us, wonderful, pat in the back. If you want to learn you know, what we do, how we do it, that is getting the kind of, I suppose, the level of income that Henry and everyone else is getting, drop us a message below. Me or Adam will give you a shout. We'll let you know what we're doing and how we're doing it. And if it works, brilliant. And if it doesn't, then it doesn't. You know, we're never going to fall out. All right. Henry, any last words of wisdom before we go?
If you're, I've always been like the mindset I have, like if you're struggling, like especially in skill set based, like performance based, like work, even like sport and stuff like that, just find someone that is getting the results that you want to do. And my friends and family think I'm absolutely nuts for the, you know, amount of like investments and like people just don't get it. But in entrepreneurship, I just feel it's so necessary. Find someone.
You're mad now, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think you're mad now. Yeah. So like, here's the other side of it, and that's just leading into someone else's narrative of how you should live your life. Don't ever, and I said this earlier on this week, don't ever compare yourself to sheep, guys. If you're a lion, fucking be proud of your being a lion. Stand up, be tall, be counted, do whatever the fuck you want to do. Why? Because like I said to you before, Henry, you got people coming behind you now that look to you for inspiration. I got 2 kids. I got my partner. I got my family. I got everyone else that looks to me. We've got nearly 80 something students. If I didn't have the courage to step up and step out, I wouldn't be able to help 80 something people in less than 2.5 months. You know what I mean? So always be proud of who you are and always do things for yourself. And everyone else, first they will laugh, then they will ask you how.
Yeah.
First they will laugh at you for doing it. The second thing that will happen is they'll ask you, how did you do it? And the third thing they will ask you to do is, can you help me do it?
Mm-hmm.
Fact. Don't ever forget that. All right.
Yeah.
So, sorry, Henry, finish it. Go for it, buddy.
Yeah, just I mean, just like there's a lot of sales reps that are struggling out there, or if they're in selling, you want to transition to closer. Like instead of, it goes back to the analogy we said at the start of the call. Instead of just stepping into 100% commission sales only role and just getting beaten the crap out of, just like understand how to fight back, because you're even going to get beaten up by the prospect, or you can challenge them enough and, you know, not beat them up, but make a sale, which is what is in their best interest anyway, most of the time.
I've never met a professional athlete that has just waited till they get in the boxing ring to then actually know how to fight. It just makes no logical sense, because when you become a commission-only salesperson, you are, in theory, a professional athlete. Yep. You get paid what you eat. You get paid what you get feed on. You get paid what you close. You get paid what you score. And if you are not good, you, my friend, are going to be broke. You are literally going to be so broke, you would literally die out for someone to throw you a bone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you got to get prepared. If you think we're right, if I want to go and play for Real Madrid, you got to show that you should be able to play for Real Madrid before you go and play for Real Madrid. Real Madrid, other than how many people come through an academy and actually end up at the top seat in any club? Very fucking few. The reason being is because not everybody is good enough to play for the first team. And if you're not good enough to play for the first team, and then you get drafted to the first team, you're gonna find out very, very quickly whether you can eat at that table or not. And if you don't have the skill set already built before you even step into that first team, you are literally fucked. You are literally fucked. That's the problem. Everyone's always, I want to wait until I get this great offer. Oh, hold on a second. Show me the business owner that wants you to give you a 250,000 plus commission only based offer, and then is going to support you on the back end while you're taking 6 months to actually ramp up and get sped up and actually know what you're doing. I'm not. Why would I? I'm a business owner. I will never, ever, ever take anybody in my business that doesn't show me already that they have the skill level to actually compete. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. You're going to do more damage to my business than you will actually help it. That's something that people don't understand.
Yeah. The skill will help you get a job as well. I had 2 interviews and I had 2 offers, and within a week I had the choice to do that, just because I had.
Because you're not just selling a product; you're actually selling yourself.
What did they ask you to role play in the interviews?
One of them was a triage, and one of them was the full sales school, the whole shebang. And I think I was like a week or 2 in there. I think he gave me like a think about it, or he gave me just the classic, and I would just pierce through that and got straight to the heart of it. I wouldn't have been able to have done that before.
No, you wouldn't have. I know you would have.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like if you're on role plays and you're going for job interviews, the only place that the owner wants you to understand, and that he wants to understand, that if you get one objection, that you can overcome it.
Yeah.
Fact. Fact. Show me any other business owner that isn't concerned about whether you can overcome an objection.
Yeah.
Because everyone can close.
They can't expect you to sell their thing because you never have. You don't understand their service. You don't have to understand their people. They don't understand their process. But objections are universal.
Yeah. Everyone can literally sign up a later.
Yeah. I remember 10 months ago, I had an interview as well, and he gave me a thing about objection. Didn't know how to handle it. I actually didn't get made that offer.
Of course you won't. Why would you?
Yeah.
There you go.
It's like going for a trial with Man United. Like, if you don't go in and score a goal, like, you're not getting called back.
Yeah.
Makes no logical sense. And it's the whole concept of, oh, let me just find this great offer before I actually step up. You're always going to be broke, buddy. Like, you're in the wrong headspace. But anyway, Adam, any words of wisdom for everyone in this group before we go for the weekend?
Never eat yellow snow.
Right.
Bigger than your head.
Yeah. What was the other one?
You never eat.
Never eat yellow snow and what?
And anything bigger than your head.
My pedigree show my one of a kind. All right, guys, I gotta go. I'm the only serious person on this fucking whole organization. In this ship, I'm the only serious person that's running and leading this whole organization. But anyway, what can you do? We wouldn't want it any other way. All right, Henry, appreciate you, buddy. Have a great week.
Appreciate you.
Big love to the family.
Yeah.
Just keep growing. Don't get complacent. All right,
Absolutely.
keep growing, keep developing, keep pushing the dial, and you will get somewhere.
Yeah.
May not get to my level or someone else's level, but you will get there. You'll get somewhere.
I'm on my way.
All right, behave. I'll see you later,
Cool.
buddy.
Cheers, boys.
All right, Adam, behave. Go eat your yellow snow. Goodbye.